Okay, so now for our next speaker. So we have Chika Masuda. Chika joined the digital agency working with the government of Japan in 2021. She's responsible for planning and managing the service design community, as well as leading intelligence research in the corporate strategy department. Before joining the digital agency, she worked as a principal researcher at the Digital Government Research Institute. She's traveled all the way from Japan to join us today, so please put your hands together and welcome Chika to the stage.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Ohayou gozaimasu. The view from the stage, amazing. I think I will remember this moment, the when I'm gonna die. So the last night I arrived to the Liverpool from the Brussels, and I had a casual dinner with the GDS team, and that's a very good moment because we went to the kind of the food court, and everyone from the GDS decided every single food each one wants to eat, because thinking about the Japanese government, it's the same thing happened. The elderly people decided what we're gonna do, what we're gonna eat. So a very diverse team. So I was so glad to join this conference today. So today I'm gonna talk about the curing design allergies in Japan's government. So these allergies manifest as a resistance or hesitation towards embracing the design in service development and the attitude in government organization. As expert working on design system and as fellow public servants, I invite you to today join me in diagnosing these symptoms and exploring the best treatment options. So, first of all, let me introduce myself and share my design history. Carrie introduced me a little bit. I graduating from university. I worked as an editor for an international publishing company, engaging fashion and culture. In 2016, I became a principal researcher at the Research Institute. It's attached to the Ministry of Interior. That moment, I tried to implement the design into the government, but everyone says, what's design? And I was so shocked because before my career, design is always beside us and we use the design so often. So my career path may seem diverse. There's a consistent thread. I've always applied my expertise in PR, writing, and design. So the government design situation is very weird for me. So I want to begin by discussing phenomenon I've observed within Japan's government, what I like to call design allergies. But before diving into what this means, let's take a moment to explore why the term design often causes discomfort, particularly in Japanese governmental context. The first, it's crucial to recognize that there isn't an exact Japanese translation for the word design. Because of this, we use the term design, it's in the right side, in what's known as a katakana, a specific set of characters in the Japanese writing system used to primarily for foreign loanwords. Because we are using those four kind of characters. The left one is aiweo. It's a very simple, the old Japanese character. And the second one is katakana, is for the foreign loanwords. So this linguistic ambiguity often leads to misunderstandings and in some cases, even confusion. People are left unsure about what design truly means in a professional setting. In Japan, design is often seen as something purely related to appearance. This belief is especially strong within government organizations, where design is frequently thought of as just a matter of artistic taste, something far removed from the day-to-day work of public administration. As a result, design is rarely considered or applied in any meaningful way within the working of government. When I talk about the design that people's head, they imagine this. So when you mention design in Japanese government, the typical reaction is not one of interest or curiosity, but rather discomfort. It's as if you were asking people whether they can draw or if they have an artistic eye. That this reaction, this discomfort, is what I refer to as design allergies. It's a significant barrier preventing the integration of design thinking into the process and operations of government. From my own experience working in fields like publishing, fashion, and medicine, design is an essential part of everything. It's integrated into how these industries function. But when I transitioned into the government sector, I was struck by the stark absence of this design culture. It was as if design had no place within the walls of government. So let's briefly the history of design in Japan's government and the challenges that have come with it. Sorry, it's a very small font, but you can. I will really talk about with the words. The conversation around the digital government began in the 1960s, focusing on using computers to improve administrative tasks. But then the design wasn't part of the discussion. It wasn't until May 2017 when the government shifted into its focus to digital transformation that the term design appeared in official documents. This marked the first time design was recognized in government operations. In 2018, the government introduced 12 principles of service design and published the Service Design Practice Guidebook. This showed a quick move to integrate design into government work. We learned a lot from the GDS, so we ran the 12 principles. With the creation of the Digital Agency 2021, Japan's government formed its first design team. This was a major step, but it's also highlighted that design had historically been seen as a tool for efficiency, not for improving user experience. This history explains why design allergies still exist today. There's generating hesitation to fully embrace design as a key part of government work. The digital agency was established in September 2021. We just become 3 years old, directly under the Prime Minister's office to lead the creation of a digital society in Japan. The need for this agency became clear during the COVID-19 pandemic, which exposed a serious weakness in Japan's digital infrastructure, especially the citizen services. So in Japan's central government, only those who pass the National Public Servants Examination can become regular officials, limiting the entry of specialists in fields of like a digital technology and design or program manager or project managers. This led to a variance on outsourcing for system development, often using a waterfall approach. While effective in some cases, this model lacks the flexibility needed for today's rapidly evolving service development needs. To address this issue, the Digital Agency became the first government body in Japan to directly hire specialists from the private sector, including designers. Today, the digital agency employs over 30 designers who play a crucial role in this work. At the beginning of our agency, our employees were 350, but now, 3 years passed, we have 1,100 various talented people. By incorporating these diverse specialists, the digital agency is actively involved in the digital transformation of our country's various administrative services and procedures. In modern Japan, local autonomy is guaranteed by the Constitution, and there are currently 47 prefectures and 1,718 municipalities under them. The services provided by the digital agency also include those that are offered to these local government. So, the mission of the digital agency is to ensure that no one left behind in the digitalization of society. Achieving this goal requires thoughtful service design that prioritizes user experience and accessibility. We have 6 accessibility specialists, including the blind accessibility specialist. So we are very diverse design team we have. So this focus on design is at the heart of everything that agency does, ensuring that services we create meet the needs of all citizens. So, as we've discussed, the digital agency is responsible for creating a wide range of digital services that meet the diverse needs of our population. But this brings us to a crucial question. How can we ensure that no one is left behind in this digital transformation? How might we create digital services that are not only inclusive but also provide a consistent and user-friendly experience across all platforms? One of our key answers to this important question is the design system. Our mission is to create services that everyone can access regardless of their location, age, or digital skills. We believe it is crucial to design these services in a way that ensures no one left behind. We also need to make sure these services are consistent and easy to use, whether people are on computer, on smartphone, or any other device. The design system gives us the tools and guidelines to make this possible, helping us build user-friendly digital services that work smoothly for everyone. So this slide presents the result of survey conducted with approximately 40 individuals from various countries who were involved in design systems. We carried out this survey to explain the significance of developing and operating a design system within the government and to secure the necessary budget for it. When asked about the value of using design system, we received responses shown here. Notably, the most frequent answer was that it makes it easier to consider accessibility. We firmly believe that this is crucial as we pursue our mission of ensuring that no one left behind in digitalization. As we continued to gather insight from the various countries, it became clear and the presence of communities significantly contributes to the development and operation of design system. Traditionally in Japan, different ministries and agencies tend to operate in silos, making it rare for government personnel to come together across a wide spectrum for a common purpose and to manage an autonomous community. To validate our hypothesis on the importance of a community, we posed the following question. How do you participate in the community? The notary main respondents indicated that simply using the design system is the form of community participation. In Japan, perception of community involvement with the government tends to be more ambitious, often seen as a significant commitment. Realizing that utilizing the system itself constitute community activity provides us with a strong motivation to foster and advance our community efforts. So we quickly realized that launching and managing a design community was crucial. Inspired by GDS success, we knew this was the right path. I had so much the one-on-one session with Imran, the GDS community manager. In my role as a design community manager, I interviewed design teams from 6 governments and 5 remarkable companies, both in Japan and abroad, to gather insights on building internal communities. From what I learned, we set a 3-year plan divided into 5 key phases. Each phase addresses specific challenges, gradually building a strong design community. This approach not only helped us understand the roots of design allergies, but also gave us a clear roadmap to overcome them through a structured community. So now we are 3 years old, so we passed the second year right now. So in phase 1 of our community building efforts, I conducted one-on-one interview with key stakeholders within our organization. My goal was to understand their perspectives and concerns about design. I often joke that this phase could be summarized as 47 cups of coffee and 86 pages of notes. Over the course of about 2 months, I met with many important figures within the organization, including those who were particularly resistant to working with specialists brought in from the private sector, especially the designers, rather than traditional civil servants. Looking back, I can laugh about the sleepless night because every day I had too much coffee, but at the time, these interviews were intense. Here are some of the things I was told. Reading through those comments again is enough to make anyone feel discouraged. But during my interviews, I found that the most of the people I spoke with reacted to design as if it were some alien force invading their familiar world. Many of them seems to express the desire not to have this unknown world of design forced upon them. So this reaction really highlights the linguistic impact of the word design, as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation. It's a clear example of how deeply these design allergies are rooted, influenced by how the term is understood. So I tackled this challenge by turning the design community into that kind of kindergarten with the organization, a friendly space where people could see the design isn't scary and might even be fun to try. No elementary school, because elementary school asks the kids to do the homework and the studying, so we need to be a kindergarten. So we use simple strategies like introducing design through playful activities such as Lego block, sending monthly design trivia emails, and integrating service design into official training. In these days, every year, the 900 public servants are attending this official workshop. We also organize hands-on experiences like office layout improvements and workshop to show the design and the benefits of the design systems. Our goal was create a series of engaging activities, much like in kindergarten, to reduce design resistance and encourage positive engagement through learning by. We always talk to them. Design is something to be afraid of. Why not give it a try? So you can do the design, so let's do design with us. So from now, I'd like to share a brief comment from our head of design, who has been instrumental in shaping our design system. From his perspective, the significance of the strong design community cannot be overstated. They believe that it not only fosters collaboration and innovation, but also ensures that design principles are consistently applied across all projects. This commitment and unified approach is what drives the success of our user-centered design and digital services. So those three members are managing the design team. The left person is accessibility, the head of accessibility. The middle one is the head of design. I'm a head of research. So let's take a look at the video of head of design.
Hello everyone, I'm Nobuo Suzuki, head of design at Digital Agency, Government of Japan. So I wish I could be with you all at the magnificent St. George's Hall in Liverpool. So today I'd like to share our design organization challenges and involving the landscape we navigate in the Japanese government context. So 3 years has passed since the digital agency was established. During this time, we've learned that just saying we will improve user experience is not enough. There are many challenges we need to address before we can truly instill a user experience mindset. It doesn't change how government projects are planned and executed, or convince others to include designers in these processes. Some people understand this idea in their heads, but there are reasons why change doesn't happen. We need to understand these reasons. So our main focus is understanding what people working in government face and what they want to achieve. We don't reject their current methods. Instead, we try to understand why they make decisions in their current way. We show them that user-friendly approach doesn't conflict with their concerns. Setting rules and guidelines are definitely important, but setting them is not enough for us in this phase. We need to create a collective mindset where user-friendly approach feels normal. This mindset helps people from other ministries and or agencies adapt more easily. Let me give an example. In the past 2 years, we've used our design system for big projects like citizen service and authentication service. We release stages, alpha, beta, and then live version. We start small and test before the final release. This approach now serves as a model for other projects. It's hard to do completely new things, but it's easier to new methods that have already worked in our agency. It feels less risky for all. We want to shift existing development style in government to focus on user experience. We don't loudly push for change. Instead, we introduce our method in real projects. It is important to create much more opportunities to work together closely. Then we let them spread naturally across the organization. We do the same with our design system and accessibility. We focus on increasing the successful example, not promoting them individually. This is important, I think. So our plan is like this. Designers create example in projects. Then we make these examples easy for other people to copy. This helps create a collective mindset where using our method feels natural and expected. Lastly, uh, current people who work in digital agency don't need to feel big changes. Actually, our organization has changed a lot. I think it is much better than before. We would like to see huge improvements when we compare now to a few years later. This gradual change is best for Japanese users and our organization too. By users, I mean not only citizens interacting with our services, but also people in government working within our projects. So that's all for me. Thank you for listening. I will now hand over to Chika.
Thank you. Thank you, Nobuo-san from Japan. So, the most important mission of the digital agency is craft the digital services that are not only user-friendly but also empathic, fundamentally transforming the relationship between citizens and government services into something positive and engaging. To achieve this vision, we must develop services rapidly and effectively with a relentless focus on continuous improvement. This vision cannot be realized through siloed organizations or by relying on a rigid waterfall development approach. So designer can be the person who can connect the citizens and the government. So we believing we can do more. And also the design system stand as one of the critical pillars in our strategy to achieve these goals. It enables us to create services that are not only accessible, but also intuitive and universally comprehensive. We must always bear in mind that while our citizens are the primary users of these services, we as government developers and designers are also users. The dual perspective reminds us to build with care, ensuring that the services we create are truly fit for purpose. So, to effectively integrate design into Japanese government organization, we aim to pursue the following 3 C's. Collaboration. One is collaboration. Embrace diverse backgrounds and work together with individuals to spread new knowledge. Be eager to learn new things and view both failures and success as a valuable learning experience. I think this one is the most difficult point in our government. So the people doesn't want to share the failure case. People doesn't want to share how do they feel. So we have to change this first. And the community, share the challenges, learn together and grow together as a community. We want to not just the positive challenges, the negative things, what they are worrying about, we want to share with the community. The creativity of public servants acts as crucial catalyst for the government, I think, and for society as a whole. So in today's unpredictable world, depending only the bureaucratic approaches of the 19th and the 20th centuries way is not enough and not work anymore. So just as the Walt Disney systematized the charming expression and the joyful dances into a design system, we believe that our design system can serve as a framework to encourage participation. So Japan's journey with design is, the government is just beginning, but we are committed to moving forward without pause. So as I conclude, I want to leave you with a powerful thought. The government as a service, government as a startup. So this is the very vision that diverse the digital agency. Our mission is nothing short of complete reminding of government, digital design and data to rebuild and reshape how we serve our citizens. We're only in our third year of existence, just beginning to outline the direction of how we want to move forward as an organization. So we're like a young startup, finally taking our first steps, eager to strengthen our collaboration with those who have blazed their trail before us, such as GDS. So together we aspire to tackle new challenges and explore charted territories. However, we must acknowledge that within our ranks, design allergies still persist. On that has evolved and taken on new forms. As we cultivate our design system, we must be in addressing in these emerging symptoms. I invite you all to join us in this ongoing dialogue to share your insight and strategies as we comfort and overcome these challenges together. I really need the advice from all of you guys, and we want to have a conversation with you. So please continue having the communication with us. So I want to express my deepest gratitude for everyone and to give me such a great opportunity to present today. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chika. Oh, there we go, it's on. We have got some time for questions, and I'm just going to pass the mics to my colleagues Imran and Katrina to facilitate those.
Any questions? Hands up, please. Take that side.
Hiya, that was a really fantastic talk. I'm quite interested because I actually worked at Nissan, the Nissan plant over in the northeast, and I was always quite interested in Japanese culture as being almost like the founders of agile methodology and thinking, and that process, and how revolutionary and how much it's revolutionized what we're talking about in a way. But there was that it didn't kind of meet the bureaucratic and also failure culture as well, which was kind of, I found that really fascinating, but also quite, it seemed like it was the biggest challenge, but it's like, actually it's so inspirational to a lot of the way that we work and has changed the way that our practice is daily. That agile methodology really works well in terms of that thing that you're talking about, which is, I'd say, proof is in the pudding, as in when you show something, people catch on and get delighted by it and then continue into practice. And I'm just wondering if you've got any thoughts about that disjuncture between the sort of everyday business as usual bureaucratic approach to things which we encounter when we're working every day, but then this other thing which is the sort of revolutionary, more sort of agile thinking, and whether there's any way that you can bring that into the challenge that you're facing, but also I just think it's a perfect example of the microcosm we all work in every day as to what you're facing. Does that make sense? Sorry, it's a long question.
Thank you very much. Yes, the agile way. Have you ever heard about the Kanban as a Toyota's way? So the private sector, the Japanese companies and the organization is very agile way that they are shifted, but especially the government is completely bureaucratic and very waterfall. I don't know why, because the private sector is changing so much, so fast. But as I mentioned in my presentation, the government officials they passed the examination. So not diverse, the very similar kind of the background peoples organized our government. So they are like like an army. The commander says do this, and that the people do this. But with the digital era, we cannot work it anymore. So the little by little, we are shifted to the agile way. Not only the digital, every single administration. So we hired agile specialist, kind of the scrum masters like that. So I hope the few years past, that our government is more agile style. Yes, but that's now is not yet, I think.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. There we go. We got this mic on. Okay, we've got some questions on this side as well, if we have time.
Thank you, Chicago. That's a really interesting talk. I was really interested when you said that you were basing your work on the GDS design system. My question is, when you're developing a service within the Japanese government, what would you say would be the biggest difference between what you build and what we build in this country?
That's a good question. We have a lot, but the most different thing is in Japan, each ministries decided what they're gonna make, what they're gonna develop. So the digital agency will support them, but those the core reason why they build these services, we cannot change it. The outsider, because we are outsider. So, but we want to change this system. So before they decided what they're gonna build, we are asking them, let's have a conversation. And is it really need for the citizens? Is it really need for our government? So the little by little, we starting this conversation, before they starting the project. So, but this way it's like a design, the many resistance in the government, because each ministry doesn't want us to intervene their project. But we have a strong commitment and regulation to control the digital budget, to develop the digital things. So I think that it's changing little by little. I think the next year, we're gonna have a more strong rules, kind of you have to use the design system, and you have to use the service design when you develop the services. So I hope the few years and it's gonna be changed, yes.
I'm just gonna go down here. Spread the love a little bit.
Hi, Chika. Thank you. That was a really inspiring talk. I'm quite interested to hear about how you and the designers collaborate as a community. I think a lot of people in this room, we collaborate using digital tools like Slack. That's a big way we communicate across the community here. How do you communicate as a community? How do you work together?
Yes, sadly, in Japan government, our agency can use the Slack. The other ministry cannot use. So basically, I'm using the email. I send an email every month, and also we can invite some people who are interested in our community to our Slack. But the government provided computer cannot access to the Slack, so they have to use their own computer, their own smartphone. But at the ministry's buildings, they cannot connect the internet with their own laptop. So that's a huge issue that we have to change that quickly. But the lots of the people who wants to change with design or who wants to learn design, they are trying to use their laptop inside their building. So Yes, I want to make more smooth communication tools, but now we are only to have Slack and emails.
I think we're out of time, but Chika will be about for the rest of the event, so please do go over and say hi, and yeah, pick her brain. I'm sure she's going to be very popular. Thank you, and a round of applause for Chika. So.
Thank you very much, everyone.